Welcome to Christians Traveling Through Time. Enjoy.
Birgitta? Bridget? Is that you?
Were you expecting somebody else?
No. But which one is it, Birgitta or Bridget? I've heard you called both names.
Some say patata and some say potato.
Okay, Birgitta then. Say, are we starting off on the wrong foot?
Buddy, I don't have all day. Let's get this interview going.
Okay. Are you the famous Swedish nun, the patron saint of Sweden?
Yeah, sure. You betcha. Does that answer your question?
Okay. I can't help but notice that you're smoking. Wouldn't that be against the rules of your convents?
I was born 700 years ago. There weren't no rules against smoking because there weren't no smoking.
Okay. Well, moving on, Birgitta, I must admit that I'm confused. My family has this red genealogy book, and it says, there's even a picture. It says that I'm a descendant of yours.
I lived 700 years ago. Do you know how many descendants I have?
Yeah, Birgitta, but that's not the point. How can you have any descendants if you're a nun?
Kind of personal, don't you think?
Please, can you help me solve this mystery?
Okay, I'll give it to you straight. I wasn't born a nun. Nobody is. I was married at 13 to a guy named Ulf, and he blessed me with 8 kids and no washing machine.
Whoa.
Hey, Ulf was a great guy. We even walked together to Spain on a pilgrimage.
Oh, hey, so did Madonna and I.
Yeah, you two started at the Spanish border, where we started in Sweden. He died right after that. And I became a nun.
Wow, you're one tough cookie.
I had to be. Men in them times, kings and popes, and they were playing war, and it turned out to be 100-year war. Somebody had to talk sense to them.
Now, what about the popes?
Popes with a S. You got that straight. They fought so much there was more than one at a time, arguing and setting a bad example.
Maybe you taking on the corrupt powers of the church is why Martin Luther liked you at first.
And your point?
He did change his mind. Later, he thought you lost your marbles.
When you're a mystic, you can do that.
A mystic? What's that?
You are given visions from God, Jesus, or angels. It's so difficult to explain.
Well, when did this happen?
Started when I was 7. It wasn't because I ate some bad Swedish meatballs, but people say that, you know.
Well, you said visions started when you were 7. You had more visions?
Oh yes, many, many more. I received instruction on how to build a cathedral, and it's called the Blue Church. It still stands in Sweden. You can search the image on Wikipedia.
What? You know about Wikipedia?
I'm a mystic. For one, how to start a new kind of monastery.
That was one of your visions, huh? To start a new kind of monastery. What do you mean?
Yeah, a monastery for both men and women. And don't you get thinking dirty. Men stayed on one side and women on the other. And the woman was the boss.
Wow. That's pretty progressive for 700 years ago.
Yeah, sure. You betcha, buddy. Time's a wasting. I haven't you haven't asked me anything about money.
Well, why should I ask you about money?
Because I gave it, and I gave it all, and I was loaded.
Wow, what did you do with it?
I started a ministry for unwed mothers. I started a hotel in Rome for pilgrims from the north. I focused on Jesus, especially how he died for us, and that is my strength.
Well, how did it go, this life of sacrifice and courage, to be different from other nuns?
Don't forget, I'm human. The more you try to accomplish, the more time with God you need. I went to confession every single day.
Every day. That's a lot of time being vulnerable.
Yep. Are we about done?
Okay. One last thing. What message do you have for the Christians in the 21st century?
Find your personal ministry, stay connected to God, and open to God's direction for your life, and avoid eating bad Swedish meatballs.
I like your humor. Birgitta, it's been great to meet you. I hope you enjoyed the time travel and the interview as much as we did.
I did. Now it's time to get this dried. Can't go traveling with a wet habit.
Thank you for watching, and special thanks to Faye Albaredo.